Okay, today we're going to change the radiator on this 2000 Jeep Cherokee. This is my camping rig. And no, you don't need any of those fancy aluminum radiators, Misimoto, whatever that is. I'm going to show you what I use and what most people recommend. Take a look. What we've got here is an Amazon, this actually is a Sectra radiator. It's about 80 something bucks. No sense in paying all that money. This particular radiator, when it heats up, it's leaking way down here in the corner. I might show you some discoloration. I'm not going to heat it up right now because you need to be cautious and make sure that there's no pressure in your radiator, that it is very cool, and because don't blame me if you get hurt or if it blows your engine up. This is for information purposes only. The very first thing I'm going to do is take out the battery. Take out your battery, make sure that you take the negative off first. If you don't believe me, just Google and you'll find out why. Okay, there's two, at least on mine, two 13mm bolts. Once you've got all that done, you can just lift your holder out. You can purchase these on Amazon. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description for this hold down. You just lift the battery up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take these little Torx bolts off. They're all the way down here. The radiator is actually underneath. These little bolts seem to be T30. I'll leave a link in the description where you can pick up a set of these. I think I've got all the Torx out. Oh, these are the grounding for my headlight adapter or relay system that makes your headlights brighter, and it protects your headlight switch. I'll leave a link for that also in the description. You've got a couple of 10mm bolts here and here, and then there's some along this header panel. Okay, once you get all your Torx out, then get these 10mm nuts right here. Then go ahead and take off your overflow hose. Just set that aside. Next thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and take this radiator hose off right here. I got a worm clamp on it. We're going to try to get away from that and use a constant pressure clamp. I'll show you that in a little bit, and I'll put some links for them down in the description. I'll put a link for this whole job in the description of all the different parts. The next thing, I'm going to get these little bolts out here. I need to pull this fan shroud away. Same thing with the electric AC condenser fan. It's got some little, looks like 8mm bolts. Then it looks like I have to take the header panel off. There's two little screws there. Take those out, and this will lift right off. Take this out too, unless you've got to, yes, I mean, you've got to take the headlights out. These have been pretty good. I did a video on them. I'll leave a description in the link below where you can get you a set of these. Okay, I moved everything on this side. I also took the 10mm bolts off in here, and I pulled the header panel back, and it looks like I might be able to get it out. There we go. So you might not have to take this whole thing off, but let's this little piece that was underneath it. Now I can see the radiator. It's been a while since I actually took this apart a long time ago because I replaced the AC condenser, but I really don't remember it. So we're going to go ahead and PB blaster all these bolts. Okay, once you get these two and these two, this piece will just lift right out. We'll set that there. Now we can see even more of the radiator. It looks like it is almost ready to come out. So we do know we have an upper hose and a lower hose. So we'll start on this upper hose. This lower hose has a spring clamp right there. So I have some special spring clamp pliers. Let me show you. So you can get these online. These are OEM. I'll leave a link in the description. I went ahead and unplugged this electric fan. I'm going to go ahead and take that out. That gives me a lot more room. Believe it or not, that that's a Dorman fan. That was the very first part I ever replaced on this thing. Okay, now I can get to this clamp. As you can see, these kind of pliers makes easy work of these clamps. So you just move it out of the way, and then you press that green button right there, and it'll release it. This is where the mess begins. If your radiator's still full, this is where it's all going to come out. I have a bucket underneath there. Automatic transmission, then you'll have these little cooler lines you'll have to undo right here. These things can be a booger as they're usually corroded. These have been soaking in PB blaster, so hopefully they'll come out. This is a pressure line. The other one is just a rubber line. I'm going to correct these worm gears. I don't like those. So this was kind of a booger to get out. Anyway, looks like I'm almost there. I think I just got to do that. Might lose a little transmission fluid out of this. Let's see. Yeah, just a little bit, not much. There it is. Okay, now's the time if you want to change your belt, your fan clutch, look at the rest of your cooling system. All that's good. I've changed that a couple years ago. I think we're good. So I'm going to clean all this up and check my new radiator fitment. Again, not a hard job, just takes a little time. Believe it or not, one of the hardest jobs is this thing was really seized on, so I let that soak a long time with PB Blaster. So, all right, let me clean all this up. Now was also a really good time to flush your heater core. You could just take this hose off here, and these two hoses right here. This one goes into the water pump. You can't really see it, but right here. And then take those two ends off and then flush it both ways. And then put some air in it because you don't want to leave any mineral water. You only want distilled water or antifreeze in there because it'll corrode. Now was a good time to do that. I'm going to go ahead and flush this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm basically just going to stick water in one side, some high pressure, and it'll come out here. It may or may not be brown. Watch this. Okay, so you don't want any of that old water in there because water from the ground has, and even from your tap sometimes, has a lot of minerals. So I'm going to stick this air hose in here like this, got like this little adapter, and I'm going to blow out all of the water so we can only have antifreeze in there. Oop. Come on. All right, that's good enough. Okay, here's the new radiator I got. This is a Sectra. Had really good luck with them. Let me know in the comments if you have similar luck or no luck at all. So we'll go ahead and take this out. I've already verified it's exactly the same. This little top plate came on this one. That's pretty nice. I took it off of the other one. It's got caps on here. And your connections for your automatic transmission. This should be pretty simple. Okay, that sat in quite nicely. Just got to make sure the two studs are in the holes down there, and that I'll have to put that on top of here. Once I do that, I'll just reconnect everything. Looks pretty simple. Once you got the bottom studs in, and you get these over the condenser, I'm going to go ahead and hook up this return transmission line right here. Okay, you can get this radiator hose clamp kit from Region Off-Road. This is for a 4.0 and a TJ or a YJ. A lot of them are the same. I think the large for the radiator is not the same. So you can actually go to your local auto parts store, and Nitro 4x4 has the correct ones if you want to go back with the spring clamps. Which I do. I got this side all buttoned up. Just be real careful when you tighten these up. This was a 19 millimeter. Hold that with a 16 millimeter. You don't want to over tighten that. I put the proper fuel injection hose clamp on that. Got rid of those worm clamps. So now we're going to move on over to this side. Oh, by the way, put your shroud, just kind of lay it in there before you put the radiator in and make things a lot easier. Go ahead and set this electric fan in place. It's got these little stud things sticking out right here. They actually go in the bottom of the radiator there and there. Same thing on the side. Connect this radiator on the passenger side. I'm going to go ahead and kind of set this little metal piece in place, because this piece has to kind of slide underneath it. Let's try that. I need to go ahead and plug this in. I put my top plate on. I'm going to go ahead and attach the shrouds. That'll give me a little bit more adjustment. Okay, now that we got everything all buttoned up, double checked everything, make sure nothing's hitting the fans. So got my funnel in. I'll leave a link right here, a little card showing a video on this funnel and how to burp your antifreeze system. So we're going to go ahead, this is some pre-mixed stuff. Go ahead and fill this up. Okay, we'll crank her up. We're done. It is finished bubbling, and I've got my heater on, so it is recirculating in the heater core. I do not see any leaks, so I think this is a win. We are done. Going, topped off the overflow. Okay, she's all running, so hopefully this helped you install yours. So y'all have a great day.